Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Tarupyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminite Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Pashyata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam bangum lankai dekhirim mitkripatamaha mande Shri Gurum Denatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, so before we go to this chapter, so we saw in the, we saw that in the last session we saw how the Patana soldiers, they became Patana Vaishnavas, how they came basically to attack Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but how Mahaprabhu, with his wonderful, magnanimous heart, he transformed their hearts and blessed them with the love of God. So we saw the Patana soldiers becoming great Vaishnavas. And we saw how the Vijuli Khan and many other soldiers, they became great Vaishnavas. So then after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, because as Balabhadra Bhattacharya was deciding that because Mahaprabhu, so many people are coming in Vrindavan trying to see Mahaprabhu, and they would come in the morning till night. There would be so much of crowd, to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that was actually in a way disturbing to Mahaprabhu. So Balabhadra Bhattacharya thought it is better we leave Vrindavan and go to Prayag. And he put the petition to the Lord also. Even though Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want to leave Vrindavan, but just to please his devotee, he also, agreed to the proposal to go to Prayag. And Prayag is in the confluence of three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. Saraswati is not visible now, so mainly we can see Yamuna and Ganga. So, so because there was a Makara Sankranti time, many people gathered there for the Magh Mela, which is considered a very auspicious time to take bath in the confluence of these holy rivers. So then they got, so they were traveling from Vrindavan. They went to a place called Sora Kshetra, which is on the banks of Ganges. And then they started to Prayaga. So when they were about to start, Mahaprabhu spoke to the two Brahmanas. If you remember, they were also accompanying the Lord. One was Krishna Das. He was from the Rajput caste, the Kshatriya caste. And the other Brahmana was from Mathura. So these two Brahmanas were also accompanying the Lord. So here at this point, Mahaprabhu is saying to those two Brahmanas that now you please go back to your homes. I will, go with, the other two assistants, that is Balabhadra Bhattacharya and his assistant. So he would request them to go back. But these two devotees would request the Lord, my dear Lord, of course, we would like to follow your instruction. At the same time, we would like to, let you know that we are confident that Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who is accompanying you, is a great scholar, and he would definitely, be of great service. But at the same time, he do not know the local language, and especially that time, that place was fully occupied by more of the residents. The residents were mostly the Muslims, and also the country was much, those areas were ruled by some of the Mughals. So, so out of concern, these two brahmanas said that sometimes some attacks here and there happens. So it is nice someone who is a local person also travels, so that it is much more safe. So Mahaprabhu will smile at them and allow both of them to travel. So on their way, as Mahaprabhu will be dancing, singing kirtan, chanting the holy name. And whoever saw Mahaprabhu, they were overwhelmed with ecstasy, and they also started chanting Hare Krishna. They would not chant before, but just by looking at Mahaprabhu's mere presence and his ecstasy, they also felt inspired, and they will start chanting Hare Krishna. And whoever saw Mahaprabhu, they became great devotees. And those devotees who became devotees by the glance of Mahaprabhu, when they go and see some other people, they also became devotees. In that way, Mahaprabhu was flooding, everywhere with Krishna consciousness. And in this way, every town and village were becoming devotees. So in that way, Mahaprabhu was dancing, singing, coming, from Vrindavan to Prayag. And in the Prayag, 10 consecutive days, Mahaprabhu stayed there. And Dasaswamedha Ghat, there is one place where Mahaprabhu stayed, and continuously he was going and taking bath, in the holy rivers. And that is a time where he will give special instructions to Srila Rupa Gosvami on this very special book called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar of Devotion, which is a very famous book. Devotees who are doing Bhakti Shastri, which is a degree given for devotees who are actually studying Bhagavad Gita, Sri Isopanishad, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. So they were given this title Bhakti Shastri. And this Nectar of Instruction, Devotion, is such a very, very important book, which is talking about the science of devotional service, written by Srila Rupa Gosvami. So Srila Rupa Goswami put together all those instructions which he received from the Lord during these 10 days at Prayag. So it is a very, very important, meeting that the Lord empowered Rupa Goswami there. So this is just an introduction given. So in that way, that 10 days, Mahaprabhu was at the confluence of Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. That's a place. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in this previous chapter, he's also mentioning the point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed so many wonderful activities in Vrindavan, but I cannot narrate everything. Out of his humility, he's telling that even Sesha Nag, the serpent, Ananta Sesha, with his thousands of hoods, cannot glorify enough the glories of the Lord. So what can a mere mortal like me can actually glorify? That is the mood of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he's telling Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, he says that ordinary human beings cannot describe it. And then he says that his pastimes are all uncommon. It is not like some ordinary human being can perform. It's all uncommon pastimes. So we should just take it with faith. And accept it as true and correct, and do not do tarka. Tarka means debate. And we should, if we do that, he's strongly using this word. He intentionally, whoever argues about this is a great fool. He intentionally and personally brings a thunderbolt down upon his head. And he goes finally saying, Chaitanya Charitra e Amritera Sindhu, Jagatanande Bhashaya Yara Eka Bindu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are like ocean of nectar. Even a drop of this ocean can inundate the whole world with transcendental bliss. So in that way, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is ending the 18th chapter of Lord Chaitanya's visit to Vrindavan, because he says that it is so huge. I cannot just glorify enough. I have just put a summary of it, just given a summary. And he says that in this ocean, even a drop is enough to inundate the whole world with transcendental bliss. And then he goes to this 19th chapter of Srila Rupa Goswami meeting. It's a very big chapter, very beautiful. And to understand these personalities, we will be doing this as probably 2 weeks, because there are lots of pastimes to cover. It will go further also. So what happens here is that, this we are coming to this pastime of these 3 great brothers, especially the 2 of them who have actually done a lot of, lot of literatures they have written about Vaishnava philosophy. So before that, they are called as Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So what is a Goswami, by the way? Goswami. Swami means, Go means senses, and Swami means master. So master of the senses, or who has a great control over the senses, that they are called as Goswamis. The general word Goswami means one who has controlled his senses. Generally in the material world, the conditioned souls are servants of the senses, or victims of the senses. We can see that we, being the conditioned soul in the material world, right from our morning till night, if we analyze how many times we control the mind or the mind controlled us. If you ask a question, just take one day and analyze. Majority of the time, our mind wins, and we are just following the dictation of our mind. It's not that we dictate and the mind is following, rather we following the dictations of the mind. So that means one who is a slave for the senses, or one who is a victim of the senses, he's called a Godasa. And one who has mastered and controlled the senses is a Goswami. So how this, in our, sometimes, in a caste, there is a surname Goswami. So Srila Prabhupada mentions they may be receiving that name because of the caste or whatever it may be, but that doesn't really suit a person's character. Only a person who has controlled all his senses can truly be called as a Goswami. And in our Vaishnava line, we see that our parampara, there are prominent 6 Goswamis, Sri Rupa, Sanatana, and the nephew of Sri Rupa Sanatana Goswami, which is Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, and Gopala Bhatta Goswami. There are 6 Goswamis. If you actually read their life, it is such a great inspiration. They are not people of this material world. Actually, they are eternal associates of the Lord. They are the Manjaris, and who are actually the younger gopis. The younger gopis are called Manjaris, who are around 10 to 12 years old in the spiritual world, Goloka. They are eternally serving Radha and Krishna. They are assisting the Sakis, so the gopis. So they are called Manjaris. So these Manjaris, they come down to the material world as the Goswamis to teach the common public and to help the conditioned souls to revive their eternal relationship with Krishna. So they are not just ordinary people. That's why they can control the senses. So one who controls the senses and the mind is a master or of all the senses, right? Control over the senses is called Goswami. So the 6 Goswamis were, when we hear their pastimes, we can really understand how they could control the urges of the mind, of the senses. Very, very amazing. These 6 Goswamis, their pastimes are all full of nectar, great inspiration. So here, because this 18th chapter, especially 19th chapter, is especially dealing with Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, we will try to understand the background a little bit, and then we will elaborate later. So this Goswamis, there is a very beautiful song by Srinivasa Acharya, Sad Goswami Ashtaka. We will try to sing that one. where he glorifies how the six Goswamis had complete control over their senses. And their main business or mission of this Goswamis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually requested, gave them 4 main instructions for the Goswamis, all the 6 Goswamis. And what are those 4 instructions? The 4 instructions are: first, to excavate all the holy places, rediscover. The holy places were already there, but over a period of time, they got covered, and people, some of them didn't even know that such a place existed. So the main service given to them was to rediscover and excavate all the pastime places of Lord Shri Krishna, Radha and Krishna, in Vrindavan especially. Mahaprabhu gave this service in Vrindavan especially, and to make Vrindavan rediscover all the pastime places of Radha and Krishna. So that was one service, excavating the holy places. And then to build temples, and establish the deities, and also give the method or the process how the deity worship has to be carried out. So that was the second service, establishing temple, deities, and to give the process, the worship standards, how one should worship the deities. Then they were instructed to write literatures. Then we may wonder, there are so many literatures, right? There are so many Puranas, there are so many Upanishads, but why Mahaprabhu asked them to write literatures? Because Mahaprabhu especially emphasized the literatures should be promoting pure devotional service. Because in this material world, there are many literatures which gives ritualistic ideas. Okay, you do this, you get this. You do that, you get this. It's more of, give this and take this. Like that kind of more external worship and rituals and formalities. But above all these things, because these are all under modes, but above all the modes, the pure devotional service. So Mahaprabhu said to the 6 Goswamis, you should now bring to the whole world the science of pure devotional service. People should know what is pure devotional service. So that Mahaprabhu emphasized. So their literatures are completely emphasizing pure devotional service, which is free from karma, yoga, jnana, and all that, pure bhakti. So that's literature. And then finally, Mahaprabhu said them to emphasize on the Vaishnava behavior, Vaishnava etiquette, Vaishnava culture. So this is something very important, especially one who in the stage of renunciant, how a renounced person has to behave, an ideal behavior of a Vaishnava, of generally a Vaishnava, and especially a renounced order, person in a renounced order, how they should conduct themselves. That this Goswami showed by example, and the Vaishnava behavior. So these are the 4 things. So number 1, to excavate the holy places of the pastime places of Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan. Number 2, to build temples, install deities, and also give the standards of worship. And number 3 is to write literatures, highlighting the platform of pure devotion service, the science of pure devotion service. And the last one is Vaishnava culture, Vaishnava behavior, how an ideal Vaishnava behaves, Vaishnava etiquette. So these are the 4 instructions given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all the 6 Goswamis. And of all the Goswamis, Sri Rupa Goswami is considered as the head of all the Goswamis. That's why we see in the invocation prayer also, Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamagyam Dadati Swapadantikam. So Sri Rupa Goswami is someone who has captured the heart, the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knew what actually Mahaprabhu wants, desires. So that's why Rupa Goswami is considered as a head. We are Rupanugas, the followers of Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada mentions they are called as Rupanugas. And Rupa Goswami, these 3 brothers, Rupa Goswami's elder brother is Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami is considered, so they were actually born in appeared in a Saraswata Vaishnava Brahmana family, actually in Karnataka, in the south of India. Then later they moved to Bengal. So then what happened was very cultured family, a very pious, devoted family. They appeared, and that time the parents they gave the name as Amar, Santosh, and Sri Vallabha. So this Amar became, actually what happened was they grew up in a very wonderful way. The Amar, Santosh, and Sri Vallabha, these three brothers, very devoted. And how devoted, in childhood, when they play games also, they used to keep the names of Vrindavan, the 12 forests of Vrindavan, Talavan, Madhuvan, Kamyavan. So when they were playing also, they were keeping all this holy places of Vrindavan in mind, and they will play. So they were always in Krishna consciousness right from the childhood, because of course they are liberated souls. And so they will enact pastimes and remembering Vrindavan, so their mood was completely like that. In fact, Sanatana Goswami, when he was a child, small child, when he was young, he got a dream. In the dream, he saw a Brahmana coming and giving Srimad Bhagavatam in his hand. So when he woke up, he asked his mother, "Oh, where is this Brahmana? Where is my Srimad Bhagavatam?" The mother said, "My dear boy, it was just a dream. There is no Brahmana, there is no Bhagavatam here." "No, no, 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 no. Where is the Brahmana? Where is that Srimad Bhagavatam?" He was crying and crying. Then Krishna himself came as a Brahmana and gave the Srimad Bhagavatam to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was so attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. So attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. A very beautiful verse that he composed. He says that, "Oh holy Bhagavat, you are my only companion, my only friend, my guru. You are my greatest treasure and my personal friend." And then he says, "You are the emblem of my highest fortune and the very form of ecstasy. I offer my obeisances to you." So Sanatana Goswami was very much attached, holding Srimad Bhagavatam, reading Srimad Bhagavatam all the time. Very much attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the childhood itself, they were completely attached to Vrindavan, to Radha Krishna's pastimes, because the Manjaris only took birth as Goswamis, right? So then, but what happened at one point of time, the ruler of Bengal was Nawab Hussain Shah, the Muslim emperor. He was actually ruling as a king of Bengal. And he was like, kind of causing great terror, in that whole place. So he came to know that these three boys, the Amar, Santosh, and Sri Vallabha, were extraordinarily genius, extraordinarily. They knew more than 17 languages. Just imagine, not 1, 2, 3 languages, 17 more than 17 languages. Extraordinarily brilliant. One time they hear, they can immediately speak about it, and they can write poems. They were just brilliant in every aspect of all the arts, well known, well versed in all arts. So when Nawab Hussain Shah came to know about these personalities, he was thinking, if these brilliant people are in my government, then I can expand my kingdom very nicely. So he was thinking like that, and then he was approaching them. So he said that, I request you three brothers, especially two brothers, which is, Amar and Santosh, to join his government. He said, you become a prime minister, that is Sanatana Goswami, Santosh, and Amar, you become my finance minister. And they said that, see, we are not interested in all this money, wealth, all these positions. But then Nawab Hussain Shah knew how to bring them, how to get them inside. So he said that if you people are not joining my government, I will destroy all your temples. And I will kill all the brahmanas and the innocent cows. So now it is your choice to choose whether you want your brahmanas and cows to be protected and your family to be protected, or you are joining my government. The choice is yours. So, they became very, heartbroken. What to do now? If they join the government, they have to give up in the sense, they have to change, they will change, the names will get changed, and they are going to work under a person who is very cruel. So they were thinking, but at the same time, if they don't join, so many Brahmanas, so many Vaishnavas, so many devotees, so many people will be innocent people will be killed. So then they thought, to protect them, they joined the Nawab Hussain Shah, but with the point that we will practice everything. You should allow us to practice everything. So Nawab Hussain Shah allowed them to practice, the Vaishnavism. You can do whatever you like, but you will give all your knowledge and expertise and intelligence to my kingdom, to expand my kingdom. So in that way, with no choice, they were forced to join the government of Nawab Hussain Shah. So then Hussain Shah changed their name. Amar became Dabir Khas, and he became the finance minister. And Santosh became Sakar Malik, and he became the prime minister. And they were actually working under Hussain Shah. And but in their home, because they were given so much of facilities and comfort, so what they used to do, they used that wealth, they created a replica of Vrindavana, in their own palace. And they used to, every day read Srimad Bhagavatam, worship the deities, and they would call the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and they perform many sacrifices, chant the holy name. So they were doing everything, but just, at the same time, they were just part of Nawab Hussain Shah. So this was going on, but their heart, they were praying to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, when the day will come that we will give up this, kind of sinful service, and we will come at your lotus feet. So all the time they were praying, internally to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they started writing many letters, to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they could not get any reply. Nearly 6 to 7 times they wrote letters, but no reply came. But finally, one letter came from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and very beautifully Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave one very interesting analogy, and he said to them that just like a woman who has got another husband, I mean, a woman who is married but who has got a paramour, what she will do? She will do her duty so diligently that is her husband will not find out that she has got a paramour, but her heart will be all the time with the other person. So the point, the analogy he used was, my dear, these two personalities, that, you are in Nawab Hussain Shah's government, but your heart, just like that women, what they do all the work, whatever needs to be done, but your heart, you remember Krishna. The time will come. So Mahaprabhu said, he will release him. So then with that mood, they were actually doing all their carrying on with their worldly material duties, in the kingdom. So when this was happening, they came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to Ramakeli. If you remember our earlier Chaitanya Charitamrita class, one time Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, but he could not go to Vrindavan. He only went up to Ramakeli. And when he went to Ramakeli, when people saw him, so beautiful looking, effulgent personality, and millions of people, just were so attracted to the beauty of Mahaprabhu, and they were just following Mahaprabhu, raising both the arms high in the air, singing and dancing. And when they were all coming to Ramakeli like that, it became like a tumultuous, and Nawab Hussain Shah came to know that who is this personality who has, kind of attracted so many people, and he looks so radiant and effulgent as if thousands of suns. You cannot compare. So he called one of his secretaries and find out who is this person. And he said that, he's a very great sadhu mendicant has come. And like that, he very nice, kind of, he didn't give details because he know that if he give details, then Nawab Hussain Shah may cause harm to the Lord. So then what happens at that time, Rupa Gosvami and Santana Gosvami, they went, in incognito and, to see Mahaprabhu. So that time they put the leaves, the grass on their, between their teeth. Who eats grass? The animals eat grass. Cows eat grass. Bulls, the animals eat grass. So that means I'm lower than an animal. That's an indication of putting the grass, in the teeth and going. That means show, a sign of humility, basically. So in that mood, they went and fell at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Um, so then Mahaprabhu, seeing their humility, he said that your humility is breaking my heart, is melting my heart. Please do not speak like this. Because they said that, my dear Lord, even to see, to have your darshan, to get your mercy, we are not qualified. It is like a dwarf catching a moon. Dwarf is a short person going and catching a moon. How is it possible? Like that, we getting your mercy is like a dwarf catching a moon. We are totally unqualified to get your darshan and mercy. So then Mahaprabhu said, your humility is melting my heart. Don't speak like that. And he put his lotus feet on their heads and gave them all blessings. So this happened that time. Ramakeli, they first saw, this. So the king came to know, and the king could understand. Definitely, he should be a supreme lord, because who will follow, whatever he instructs, everyone is following. Generally, as a king, if I pay only, my servants will work. But he is not paying anything, but yet everyone is following his orders. So he should be Allah. Like that, even Nawab Hussain Shah would get that intelligence. So when this was going on, what happened was, somehow Rupa Goswami escaped. He escaped from because he was only a finance minister. So comparatively, Sanatana Goswami had a big responsibility because he was a prime minister. So Rupa Goswami, what he did was, he had a lot of wealth, and that wealth he divided into 3 portions. 50% of the wealth he donated, and he gave as a charity to all the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. And 25% he gave to his relatives, and 25% he kept it as a emergency. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that should be the mood when people who are in the retiring Vanaprastha state, what they should do is that they should also use their fund like that. 50% should be donated to the pure devotees, 25% for the relatives, and 25% as an emergency. So Rupa Goswami showed by his own example, and then Rupa Goswami, he sent people, because before itself he sent people, because Mahaprabhu that time from Vrindavan, he was coming back to Jagannath Puri, and Jagannath Puri is going to go to Vrindavan. So he sent 2 persons to Jagannath Puri to find out when Mahaprabhu is starting to Vrindavan. So he was waiting for that information, and as soon as he got the information that Mahaprabhu is going to start, immediately Rupa Goswami left the government position, because Mahaprabhu also instructed them, leave and come. So when they got that instruction, Rupa Goswami left, and then he divided the amount and gave charity, and then he went forward. So he took his brother Anupam, Sri Vallabha. So Mahaprabhu, when they came to Ramakeli, he initiated them. He named them as Dabirkas. Amar became Dabirkas in Nawab Hussain Shah's government as finance minister. Now his name got changed to Rupa Goswami. And Santosh became Sakar Malik, the prime minister. He became Sanatana Goswami. And Sri Vallabha, the youngest brother, who was the father of Jiva Goswami, his name got changed to Anupam Malik. So these 3 personalities got this spiritual names from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now Rupa Goswami is escaped, and Rupa Goswami and Anupama left already. They are now moving forward, they're traveling towards Prayag. So, and very intelligently, Sri Rupa Goswami also left some 10,000 gold coins to one of the grocer, and informed Sanatana Goswami, you find your way somehow, and I have given this money. So when it is needed, use this and you escape. So he gave that indication, and he left, both of them left. And that time he met, Mahaprabhu in Prayag. So when Mahaprabhu came to Prayag, Rupa Goswami met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, and he received the instructions, which we will see later. What are the instructions? All those we'll see later. So then what the story here happened was Nawab Hussain Shah, but Sanatana Goswami was stuck because he has a great responsibility. So he was thinking how to escape. Then he was thinking, he thought, like, we sometimes, when we don't like to go to office or don't like to go to school, what we say? We say today tummy ache, today's I'm not sick, I'm sick, I'm this, I'm that. So similarly, Sanatana Goswami, sent a sick note. I'm not feeling well. So I won't come for some time. And then what he was doing at home, he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam with so many Vaishnavas. He would call to his home and they were reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. So Nawab Hussain Shah waited. Where is Sanatana? Because Sanatana Goswami was like right hand, left hand, everything for him. And he was like one day curious. He sent people. In fact, he himself came, to see, what is happening, what happened to, Sanatana Goswami. And because the doctors, he sent first to doctors. The doctors went and saw Sanatana Goswami and came back and reported to Nawab Hussain Shah. He is absolutely fine. He has got no sickness. So then Nawab Hussain Shah thought, what happened? Then why he said that he is sick? Let me go in person. He took an assistant and he went. That time when he went, he was quite surprised because he was hale and healthy, sitting and reciting Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of so many Vaishnavas. Then Nawab Hussain Shah was so angry and he was saying, I was waiting for you. And Nawab Hussain Shah's relationship with Sanatana Goswami was, he considered himself like a brother. He considered Sanatana Goswami to be like a younger brother and himself to be like an older brother. And he was telling Sanatana Goswami, your older brother is very busy conquering and expanding the kingdom. And he's killing. He himself says about himself, I am a Yavana. Yavana is who kills all the innocent animals and eat. So I am quite busy with all these things. Who will look after the state? I was depending on my younger brother to look after the state administration and management. But he's telling some sick note and he's actually doing his own things. So what is actually your intention? I really should know. You better tell me honestly, what is your plan? So Sanatana Goswami said, you are the Nawab, you are the king. A king or an administrator has got all the rights, if their servants or if their employees do not function properly, you can give whatever punishment you think is appropriate. So indirectly he said that, you see, I cannot continue my job. I am resigning and I'm going. You do whatever you like, whatever punishment you want to give. So Nawab Hussain Shah got very angry because that time he planned to attack Orissa. So he was telling Sanatana Goswami, now I planned to attack the province of Orissa and expand my kingdom. And this is the time I really need you. Sanatana Goswami said, you trying to attack Orissa is actually, you are giving pain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I cannot extend my hand or help in this regard. So he was very, very strong that, I am going to leave this. I'm resigning my position. So Nawab Hussain Shah got so angry and he arrested, Sanatana Goswami. He imprisoned him. So in the prison, Sanatana Goswami is thinking, so what can I do? How do I escape? So that time only the letter of Rupa Goswami came, that this Lakshmi I have given the money, you give it to the jail warden. See, those days also the bribery worked. People are after money. And hook or crook, he wanted to escape. So that somehow the gold coins were given. And Sanatana Goswami, after that, how he escapes from the prison. So we see that here, Sanatana Goswami, in that way, he gave that bribe and then he escaped out of the prison. And he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Varanasi. And nearly 2 months, Mahaprabhu gave his personal time and association and instruction to Sanatana Goswami. And he wrote so many books, especially a book called Hari Bhakti Vilas, which talks about different rituals, practices, and all that in Hari Bhakti Vilas. So in that way, Rupa Goswami got the 10 days personal association and instruction from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Prayag, and Sanatana Goswami got those instructions from Varanasi. And we will see much more things. One of the pastime I would like to say, how these two brothers were so great that they were literally, all the 6 Goswamis, they were literally talking to Radha and Krishna. They were literally witnessing the pastimes, and they were conversing with the Lord, and the Lord would come and do service for them. So what happened was, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan, at one particular vana, forest called Kamyavan, where one's desires, Kamyavan is a place one's spiritual desires get fulfilled. So in the Kamyavana, because these Goswamis, they were not attached to even one particular forest. Generally, if we analyze ourselves, when we go, even if we go to a class, when we sit down in a place, say we are going to attend a 7-day class or a 10-day class. If we start first day where we sit, then we get attached to that seat. Every day we want to sit in that place only. And we may sit with one group of people, and every time we want to sit with that group of people only. So we get attached to even small things, so attached. But here you see this, the Goswamis, they were under a tree. They were actually staying under trees. Those rich, Dabirka, Sakar, Malik, they gave up all that wealth, and they came to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, staying under beneath the trees. And they would even, not more than 3 days, they would stay under one tree. So they were so renounced. And here there is a point we may ask, okay, people like Goswamis can renounce. What about the people in the Grahastha ashram? Do we also have to renounce everything like that? No, the principle of renunciation has to be understood in the right perspective. The right perspective of renunciation is that we should not think ourselves as a controller and enjoyer. That is the point. We may have wealth, we may have family, we may have everything what is, what a person may desire for. But a moment we think that this all I have got by the mercy of the Lord, an actual enjoyer is the Supreme Lord, the actual controller is the Supreme Lord, and we use those facilities and the gifts in the service of the Lord, then that is true renunciation, Yukta Vairagya, true renunciation. Not that we have to really give up, because Mahaprabhu instructed the Goswamis that how a renounced person should behave, so they showed by example. So they were under the tree and they were not attached, and they gave up their wealth. So even as a grahasthas, we all can practice the principle of renunciation. The principle of renunciation is to understand that I am not the enjoyer, I am not the controller, whereas Krishna is the enjoyer and controller. So this is a lesson for us to, understand, because in this material world, everything we feel we are the enjoyers and we feel we are the controllers. So here what happened was, so in that way, we can understand the true renunciation, that how the Sanatana Goswami and the Rupa Goswami, they showed that, so what happened was they were discussing, so in the Kamyavan, under the forest, under a tree, they were sitting and discussing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. They were so engrossed and so absorbed that they were discussing, and they did not eat and sleep. They forgot to eat and sleep. So then that time, one very beautiful looking young girl, she came and she said to Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, oh Baba, you both did not eat anything. I have got some rice, milk and sugar. You can make something and please eat. So the little girl was telling to Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami, again, they heard it, but then again they got engrossed and absorbed completely in this pastimes that they forgot to even make anything. So then the little girl, she came back again, and she herself collected all the wood, and then she, she cooked the very nice offering of a prasad, kheer, and she gave it to Rupa Goswami. Now it is ready, you please take. So then Rupa Goswami offered it to Krishna, and then he gave it to Sanatana Goswami. And when Sanatana Goswami tasted that, it was like nectar. Definitely, this is not cooked by someone in this material world. It is out of the world. And he asked, who has given all this? And then she said, Rupa Goswami said, what very beautiful looking young girl. The little girl, she came and she offered, and we were so absorbed, and then she started cooking, and then she gave this. And then Sanatana Goswami asked how she looks. And then when he gave the description, finally they could understand that it is Srimati Radharani herself who has come and made this wonderful offering. Then Sanatana Goswami felt so bad. We should be giving service to the Lord, and we should not be receiving service from Srimati Radharani. We are servants of Srimati Radharani, but we are made Radharani to serve us. So here also a very wonderful mood of the acharyas we can see, which we can pray for, is that generally in the material world, everyone, we think generally everyone wants, oh, what the Lord will give it to me. I want this, I want that, and I want the Lord to reciprocate. I want the Lord to do like this. But here the Goswamis are completely in that platform where they think not what the Lord is giving to me, what there is a great saying, don't say what the country has given you. Don't expect what the country has given you, what you give for the country. There is a saying something like that. But here it is higher than that. Country is an expanded selfishness, but this is because now everyone who is fighting for the country, it is very good compared to my family, myself. It is an extended or expanded consciousness. But again, everyone is fighting, thinking about their own country only. Why? Because I am born in the country is very dear to me. So that is also a way of selfishness or self-centeredness. But here, the point Rupa Goswami makes is that actually everything under the Lord's creation is my country, or in a sense, my worshipable land. It should be like that, rather than the place where I born is only very special. That is also so selfish. So that is the reason many conflicts happens all over the world, because everyone thinks that my nation is the best or my country is best. But if everyone sees Vasudeva Kutumpakam, the whole world as one family, and it is given by the Lord, and everyone are, the family members, then where is the question of conflict coming? So then there is no world wars. The wars come because my country is best, and I look down on the other country. But when someone sees everyone, so see how Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is showing a very expanded consciousness. This is real expanded consciousness, not just thinking little expanded. Okay, I'm not thinking about the family, but I'm thinking about the nation. But yet it is still, it again, it is still a very narrow understanding. So here a broader understanding we see here, that Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami is telling, we always expect what the Lord is doing for us, but the mood is what we can do for the Lord. So that's a selfless, unconditional, unmotivated devotion. That's pure devotion. Pure devotion services, anya bilashita sunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena krishnanu silanam bhaktiruttamam. So it is free from all this kind of fruitive results, fruity mentalities. So that's why it is topmost. I just want how I have to serve the Lord. So here Rupa Goswami and Sanatana go in that mood, and Radharani personally comes and cooks and serves them. And there are many, many more pastimes which we are going to see in our upcoming classes. How personally Krishna and Radharani and the gopis, they all showered so much mercy on these great personalities. We will see that. So the point here is that, so Sri Rupa Goswami is actually a Rupa Manjari. He's Rupa Manjari in the spiritual world, assisting Srimati Radharani. And Sanatana Goswami is Lavanga Manjari, serving Srimati Radharani in the spiritual Goloka Vrindavana. So such exalted personalities have come down as Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, teaching so many wonderful Vaishnava culture, Vaishnava etiquettes, and on the top of all that, the pure devotional service, how one should perform pure devotional service. So we will today try to sing this Sadgoswami Ashtaka, and then we will cover the rest in our next session. So let me share that Sadgoswami Ashtaka. So praying to this Goswamis, these great personalities, will be very, very pleasing to Krishna. So if you want the mercy of the Lord instantly or very quickly, the shortcut is to go through this predecessor acharyas. That's why Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, the Goswamis, because Krishna is in the heart of his pure devotees. We don't have to go and search. Krishna tells, I'm not in Vaikuntha. My dear Narada, I'm not in Vaikuntha. I'm not in the, yogis, the heart of the, I am in the heart of my devotees, where they are singing my holy names. I am in that place where my devotees are singing my glories. And also there is a place, it says that Krishna is in the heart of the devotees, and it is a residence, the devotee's heart is a residence of Krishna. There is a song of Vaishnava Thakur. So the Vaishnavas are if we go behind them, then we can very easily get Krishna Bhakti. So that's what Narottama Das Thakur also says. So I'm running behind you and asking you, begging you, Krishna, Krishna, give me Krishna, because you can give Krishna to me, because you possess Krishna. So this 6 Goswamis, so that's why, in our altar, we should keep this 6 Goswami picture. It is so important, because we cannot access Krishna directly. And if we put our petition to Krishna also, we may be in the last in the queue, because there are many, many wonderful pure devotees who are standing in the line. But if we keep this Guru Parampara and 6 Goswamis in the altar and pray to them, pray for their mercy, then Krishna, what he will do, our file may be in the last, but because we have gone through this acharyas seeking their mercy, Krishna may lift our file from the bottom to the top. So that chance is possible if we pray to the Goswamis, we pray to the Guru Parampara. So please, all of you who do not have a picture of a Guru Parampara and the Sadgoswamis, the 6 Goswamis, please put a picture in your altar and pray to them. And you see that how you will be able to receive the mercy quickly. So that's a proper way. Even when we do arati, when we do offering, we do through the Guru Parampara, the Goswamis, we are offered to Krishna. So that's a mood. So let's sing this, try to sing the Sadgoswami Ashtaka, very great personalities. And Srinivasa Acharya, he's saying that how great are this, Acharya, the 6 Goswamis. Let me see, I have hopefully taken that one, whether I'm able to track that. Yeah. Yes. So let's read quickly the meaning and the song, and then I hope so. So I offer my respectful obeisance under the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with the gentle and with the ruffians. Because so they don't have any enemies. Everyone is they are kind to them, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are engaged in missionary activities meant to deliver the condition, deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis. Let us read one paragraph and read a study. Yeah. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritam Bonidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmatsarao Pujitao Shri Chaitanya Kripa Barao Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So, Nana Sasra Vicharanai Kanipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyau Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Gosvami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very much enriched in understanding of Lord Chaitanya and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They can purify all the conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. As such, they are very expert in increasing the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from the devouring mouth of liberation. So very nicely here it's mentioned that, we are accumulated so many sinful reactions over so many of our births, previous births. So how are we going to cleanse all of them? One of the ways is to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, holy name. If you chant the holy name is so powerful that mountain-like sins gets burnt to ashes. Also, taking shelter of these pure devotees who are very, very dear to Krishna. As the Goswamis, who have complete control over their senses and who have completely dedicated their life in the service of the Lord. So when we take shelter of them and we pray to them, we see that all the sinful reactions are nullified and burned to ashes. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidau Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau Papotapanikrintano tanubritam Govinda Ganamritai Anandambudhi Vardhanai Kanipunau Kaivalya Nishtarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant. In order to deliver the poor conditioned souls, they accepted loincloths, treating themselves as mendicants. But they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. They are swimming in the ocean of ecstatic love of Radha and Krishna. So for them, pebbles and stones, gold and pebbles, no difference. Sama loshasha kanchana. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the highly self-realized souls, they see with the equal vision the gold, kanchana, the gold, and the pebbles. So for them, it doesn't make a big difference. So we can see the Goswamis like that. त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छवत् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकन्ताश्रितौ गोपी बावरसामृताब्दलहरी कल्लोलमग्नौ मुहुः वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ. I offer my respectful obeisances to the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavana, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers, which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life. So who can give us? Krishna won't give straight Krishna Prem. Of course, he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the mercy can be very, greatly accessed through his servants, the pure devotees, that is, the Goswamis and the Acharyas. Kujat kokila hamsa sarasagana kine mayura kule nana ratna nibadamula Nana Ratna Nibadamula Vitapa Shri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Mahanisham Prabhajatau Jivartadau Yaumudha Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalago Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalago. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are engaged in chanting the holy names of the Lord and bowing down in a scheduled measurement. In this way, they utilize their valuable lives and in executing these devotional activities, and they conquered over eating and sleeping and were always meek and humble, enchanted by remembering the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So these Goswamis, they were chanting with the numbers. Prabhupada mentions that Counting is something very important. Sometimes you may think that why counting is there. Even the pure devotees, they counted. So counting, how many rounds we have done, it's very, very important, because we want to maintain that. If we don't put the counting, one day we may do so much, one day we may do too less. So even the pure devotees, they set the standards that counting is something important. That's why there is Sakshi Mala. In our chanting beads, we should have a Sakshi Mala, the counting beads. Oh, 1 round I've done, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. That is something important. Otherwise, if we remember the mind, we may miss out. So the Goswamis have shown by example, and we have to just follow. And not only that, they were doing parikramas, dandavat. If you see Govardhan parikrama, they bow down so many times. Like Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, 2,000 obeisances to the Vaishnavas every day. So like that, they have so much of count of paying obeisances and chanting the holy name, completely absorbed. So bowing down is also something very, very important. Krishna also says, it is my devotees bow down to me. There is a very wonderful shloka. Anyone knows where Krishna says that my devotees, bow down to me?
Manmana Bhava Madbhakto.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhya Jimam Namaskuru. Offering obeisances. So Sankhya means the counting. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gananatibi Kala Vashani Kritau Nidrahara Vikara Khadi Vijitau Chatyanta Dhinau Chayo Radha Krishna Guna Smriti Madhuriman Nandena Sammohitau Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances under the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are sometimes on the bank of the Radha Kunda lake or the shores of the Yamuna, and sometimes at Vamsivata. There they appear just like madmen in the full ecstasy of love for Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms in their bodies, and they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. Completely absorbed. Radha Kunda Tate Kalinda Tanaya Tire Chavam Sivate Premon Madhavazat Ashesha Dasaya Grastau Pramatau Sada Gayantau Chakada Harir Gunabaram Baba Vibhutau Muda Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. The last verse of the Sad Goswami Ashtaka gives us such a powerful learning as well. The mood of the Goswamis. I offer my respectful obeisances of the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatana, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta, Shri Raghunatha Dasa, Shri Jiva, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavana, shouting, Queen of Vrindavana, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj. Where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the banks of the Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. So it's mentioned, Srila Prabhupada mentions the mood of the Goswami. They are asking, where are you, my dear Lord? That means they are saying, we have not understood you completely. They are still searching. That's their mood. Always a mood of separation, searching for the Lord. They never said, I know you. I already got you. But they asked, where are you? Where are you? And, that is their mood. and loudly chanting the holy name, always looking for the Lord everywhere. So we see that when the pure devotees, when they see anything, even a material thing, apparently a material thing, they see spiritual things. When they see any hill, the pure devotees, they see it is Govardhan. When they see any water, they think this is Yamuna. They see any holy dust, they see this is a dust of Vrindavan. But whereas the material consciousness is that when we see even a spiritual thing, a spiritual object, a spiritual person, we see in a material perspective. The pastimes of Radha and Krishna, we may see in a material perspective of a boy and girl. We may see something wonderful. We may go to Vrindavan, the holy Dham, but we may see some, animals and pigs and, some dirty water, and we may think, in a very materialistic way. So this is a difference. The difference of a conditioned soul, even material, spiritual objects, he sees in a material perspective. And a pure devotee is someone who sees a material thing and he sees a spiritual perspective. So if you see the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, how you can see me, even in the material world, material nature of the animals, I am the lion, of the flowing rivers, I am Ganges. So even so Krishna tells us how we can see him everywhere. It is just that we have to change the way we perceive things in the world. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. Just we have to change the way we perceive things. That's why, in the material world also people say optimist and pessimist. Same thing, an optimist see like a half, they give this example of a half a glass water. An optimist see it is half full, and a pessimist see half empty. And similarly, when they see a rose flower, a pessimist see it is full of thorns, an optimist see it is full of fragrance. So similarly, a spiritualist see even material things in a spiritual platform. They could see only Krishna everywhere, a pure devotee. But whereas a non-devotee or a materialistic person, even he looks at Krishna, he will only see a metal, he will only see a marble. So that's the difference. So that's why Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Viloja, our eyes should be anointed with love. Those eyes which are anointed with the mascara of love, pure devotion, then whatever they see is spiritual. Prabhupada mentioned, if you wear a green colored glass, everything looks green. If you wear a red colored glass, everything looks red. If you wear a transparent glass, everything will look as it is. So similarly, what glass we wear matters a lot. So if you wear a glass of devotion, pure devotion and love, a spiritual perspective, then we see everything in that eyes. So it is just a matter of changing our perspective. So the last verse, very beautiful verse. He Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite ye Nanda Suno Kutha Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Padale Kalindi Vani Kutha Goshantamiti Sarvato Vrajapure Kedair Mahavigvalo Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. Sad Gosvami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it's a very, very beautiful, wonderful ashtakam. We can all try to sing whenever possible, meditate on the meanings. We can pray to the Sad Goswamis every day, offer our obeisances, prayers, our desires, our challenges. We can request them to remove the obstacles, to shower their mercy upon us. So that which we cannot access can be accessed by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya's transcendental, associates, Vaishnavas, pure devotees. So that is possible. So we will end the class here. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it's very, very nice. Anything about the Goswamis is nectar. Talking about them, their names, looking at them, their qualities and their pastimes, so inspiring, so wonderful. Just by talking about them, we also feel a glimpse of that pure devotion. Our hearts also feels a little bit, a shadow of the pure devotion. That's their potency. Just imagine absorbing ourselves, hearing about them and knowing more about them and praying to them. Certainly we all will get a great mercy. So it's very nice. So we will continue the about more pastimes of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, because we didn't much spoke about them in our next session. Yeah. So Litan Prabhu, are you here for any announcement? And we have a very special birthday today. Is a birthday girl available?
Mataji, Shilpi Mataji, you mean?
Oh, her birthday is today?
Yes, Mataji, Shilpi Rastogi Mataji birthday also.
Oh, I didn't know about it. I knew it is little Siddhi's birthday today.
Oh, sorry, Mataji.
That's very nice. I'm glad that it is her birthday today. Would be very happy.
I'm just trying to see her, Mataji, but she's not in the call. She went to Soho Temple, Mataji. I think she's on.
Okay, Siddhi is there?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Wow, so sweet. Look forward to see you. Yes, very wonderful. So let's all very nicely, we can sing you have a cake with you?
No.
Mataji, actually we done cake cutting in Soho Temple in the morning when we went.
Wow, that's a wonderful blessing Siddhi got. Very, very
Yes,
nice.
Mataji.
So we will just sing now and everyone
Mataji, I even got this.
What's that?
Chaitanya Prabhu gave Siddhi gift.
Wow, what is that?
I think it's
Prabhu,
nursing.
can you spotlight Siddhi? Can you spotlight Siddhi, please?
Meeta, Mataji, actually, yeah, I'm on Meeta's name.
Wow, Pavitram, you got the Pavitram. Wow, that's very nice.
Chaitanya
Lot of
Prabhu
blessings, right? And you fed all the devotees also today.
Yes, Prabhu, Mataji. That was really nice.
What do you want to say, Siddhi, on your birthday?
I had a really nice time.
Okay.
And I got really good blessing by God.
By all devotees
Yeah,
over there.
by
Oh, so
everyone.
sweet.
And hopefully Guru
Everyone,
Maharaj
you happy?
somewhere giving you blessing as
Yeah.
well. We were thinking about Guru Maharaj today as well, Mataji.
You happy?
Siddhi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, very nice. Okay, Mataji, can you say a few words about Siddhi, please? For all those who have not seen Siddhi, little Siddhi is daughter of our dear Meeta Mataji and Umesh Prabhu. Such a brilliant kid, very devotional, very inspiring, very fearless. She comes almost every week to, I will say a few words before Mataji. Every week she comes to Soho Temple in the morning and attends the programs along with the parents. She also associates with all the devotees. She goes and talks with all the devotees so nicely. Everyone is Siddhi is dear to all the devotees there. Everyone knew about Siddhi. And also she does nice service in this age. She got that special mood. She has a beautiful Gaurni tie, and she was actually requesting, oh, all the Gaurni ties have got a name. My Gaurni tie did not have a name. Could you please give a name? And what is your Gaurni tie's name? Siddhi, you would like to say?
Premanitai Gaurarai.
Premanitai Gaurarai ki jai. That's the deity of this age. She started worshipping the deities. Very, very inspiring, very inspiring. So Mataji, please share a few words.
Thank you so much, Mataji, and all Vaishnavas for blessing Siddhi. Is quite a pleasure to have Siddhi in our life. She's a bundle of joy. And as Mataji says, she's so confident. She's no shy at all. In Soho Temple, all Brahmachari knows, and they know Siddhi with her name. And then even today they were very happy giving Siddhi blessing. And we went on Sunday as well. She's telling everyone that make sure you come and come tomorrow. So I'm coming. It's my birthday tomorrow. So everyone knew in the temple, and people like wherever she goes, I mean, she sometimes, she creates that kind of personality that everyone attracts to her. That's maybe Guru Maharaj mercy on her. And even Guru Maharaj said few times, "I love you back to Siddhi," and that was just a pure blessing for Siddhi. So I think she's such a good girl, Mataji. She always listens. She always happy to come and visit to temple, any kirtan program, anytime we need kirtan. Yeah, Siddhi is always ready. And she loves singing for Krishna's pleasure.
Yes,
And
very
she loves book distribution with all of her other friends as well. And yes, actually, she's quite happy, simple girl that she's not demanding anything, but just happy in her own world. So thank you so much. Just keep blessing Siddhi that she progress in her spiritual paths. And even today, she went out with Yogeshwar Prabhu.
We went to the mall.
And honest, just believe
Sorry?
that she spends so much money from Yogesh Prabhu. And you know what Yogesh Prabhu likes. He doesn't say no to anyone. so when we knew that she's going with Yogesh Prabhu, we thought, oh my God, good luck to Yogesh Prabhu. So it was, she had a really good day, Mataji, today.
Very nice, wonderful. So let's all sing Hare Krishna to you, and then 3 times Hare Krishna mantra for Siddhi. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to dear little Siddhi, Hare Krishna to you. May Krishna bless you, dear. May Krishna bless you, dear. May Krishna bless you, dear Siddhi. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Bol. Gopi Krishna is
Thank you,
to
everyone,
dear
so
Siddhi.
much.
Happy birthday, Siddhi.
Very sweet.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we will all chant 3 times Hare Krishna mantra. We pray for her good, happy, healthy, long Krishna conscious life, and she be a shining star in the mission of Srila Prabhupada and inspire many more people to come to the lotus feet of Krishna. So let's all chant 3 times Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Hari Bol, lot of blessings. It has come on a CC class. So many
Thank you,
devotees.
everyone, for your lovely wishes.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for making it so special for Siddhi. All of your blessing, it will be so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hari. Wonderful. Thank you. So we also, Mataji said, who is Shilpi Mataji? Is it Pramida Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, Shilpi Rastogi Mataji.
She's also sharing a birthday with our Siddhi. And Shilpi Mataji, you would like to say a couple of words, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji is not here. I was trying to look for her. She went to temple. Mataji is such a sincere devotee, very pious soul. Literally, I can say within a short time, she joined for our 18 days Gita course, and within a short time, she actually grabbed every opportunity of service, and she likes to be in association. She was very happy when she came last week also to our house, and she did all the services. Whatever more than she was touching herself what she can do, and it's amazing to see her progress, Mataji. She wants to serve for Srila Prabhupada mission, so I'm very glad to be part of Mataji.
Okay, let's chant 3 times for Shilpi Mataji,
Yes,
for her healthy, happy, Krishna conscious life. Very wonderful soul. Very wonderful soul. That's what I can say. Very sweet personality and very gentle, very service oriented. Husband also very service oriented. They have 2 kids. Very nice family. So let's pray for them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Wonderful,
Rama,
wonderful.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for all of your prayers and blessings upon Siddhi and Shilpi Mataji. Wonderful, 2 wonderful souls. Okay, so any announcement, Leighton Prabhu? I'll go Jagannath Darshan. Sure.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vivek Prabhu is not here today. We just have one announcement. On Saturday, we have a Mangal Arati. Will be arranged by central team. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji probably went downstairs for the altar.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah.
Mataji. I'll be next for him.
So
Jai
devotees can
Jagannath,
take-
Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Baldev, Jai Subhadra. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare
Chaturtha Bhagavan ki jai. Hare Bol.
Avatar Panchatattva ki jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol. So may Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Maharani and Panchatattva, Gornitai, all of them shower their blessings upon all the devotees. And especially for the birthday birthday kids today. For Little Siddhi and Shilpi Mataji. Hari Hari Bol. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Thank you, Leighton Prabhu, and
Mataji. Hare
thank you to
Krishna
all
Mataji.
the devotees. We will catch up next week. So next week, it would be very nice if you can remember some of the points from today's session, which is a continuation of today's session. So we are going to see what are the 4 instructions Mahaprabhu gave to all the Goswamis. So that's one question. So like that, there are a few questions which we are going to ask before the session. So nice if you can recollect. Okay. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai.
Ki
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Coming Sunday is also Rama Navami, special day, the appearance of the day of Lord Rama. It's coming on a Sunday. Some of the devotees are going to Watford Temple for darshan. Some of them are going to Soho Temple, and also, in Jagannath House, and some places they have, Abhishek and services. So please connect to, to one of the temples or where the services are going on. So in that way you can get a lot of blessings. It's a wonderful day. Sunday also, so together can serve nicely. Okay, thank you so much. Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki
Hari
jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Jai
Mataji.
Jagannath. Krishna.
Hari Bol everyone. Salute Ram to everyone. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.